Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Really excited for today's video. It's actually a brewery I've not had before, but I'm very familiar with their brewing equipment. So this is, I don't mispronounce it, Miskatonic from Darien, Illinois. And although I haven't had any beer from them specifically, that is the same space that most of the Hop Butcher beers are from. And they included this bottle in a package they sent me. So thank you for sending it, obviously. And this is a Black is Beautiful beer. And it's actually bourbon barrel aged. Imperial Stout, 12% ABV. The fact that it's barrel aged, would be either impossible that it's the base recipe from Weathered Souls, or it was in a barrel for, a month or something, So I'm going to assume it's not following the recipe, and it's also 12 versus 10%. And yeah, the barrel could kick it up, but that would mean like they'd have to have brewed a bigger beer. It would have come out bigger plus the barrel, whatever. I'm going to assume it was a beer they were already barrel aging, but you never know. Just getting a taste. Yeah, it's pretty cool, to try a new brewery and the first beer is a bourbon barrel-aged stout. Not much head on it. It's pretty darn black. The beer itself, maybe a quarter of a finger of a mocha head. Teeny tiny bump. It's funny, actually. It's almost like a moon cookie or something, or a half moon cookie. The side facing you guys has small to medium bubbles. The side facing me is teeny tiny bubbles. It's not an exact line down the center, but it's basically broken up that way, so it's kind of cool, different. But yeah, it's a very dark beer. I see a little bit of brown at the bottom, but that's a black beer. Let's get into the aroma. Very bourbon and barrel forward. You're getting the spirit for sure. You're getting a nice sweetness, coconut, vanilla for sure. Some of that oak vanilla, or that oak barrel specific, not even the spirit from it. And then you're getting that vanilla and that coconut from the barrel. Some Hershey's chocolate in there, so you're getting, the chocolate that way. This smells fantastic. Let's get a taste. Cheers. That's nice. There's a nice, it's roast, but it's not, because I'm going into this thinking well, I know what the base recipe is. That's a very a roasty Russian Imperial Stout / black IPA hybrid thing. So it's kind of like when you go into something, right, you have expectations. So it's not as roasty as I thought it would be, but acknowledging I didn't think it probably was the base, but you still have that preconceived notion. But there is a nice roasty, this is a really long way of saying, there is a nice roastiness to it, but it's not overly roasty. The aroma made me think it was going to be sweeter than it is. It does have a nice sweetness. You are getting a lot of the things I was picking out of the aroma, you do get in the taste, which is good because those are things I like in this style. That chocolate is very Hershey's chocolate, Hershey's syrup. Just not as sweet, obviously, but, for a beer, pretty sweet. The vanilla is more than the coconut, but I do get the oak and the coconut in the drinking experience. It's in the aftertaste, and right now as I'm talking, that I'm getting a lot of the oak tannins. Wow. That's cool. Not unexpected, I suppose, but it's a cool ride, and I'm really liking this finish. I want to take another sip, but I'm still really enjoying what's still going on. The roast that's there is giving you a kiss of coffee. Although I keep talking about Hershey chocolate, Hershey syrup, there is some nice dark chocolate in there as well. It's not full on brownie, but there is for someone who loves chocolate, there's definitely enough chocolate and like cool different kinds of chocolate, which is adding to this complexity. That I'm really enjoying that experience. For 12%, a little bit of drying in the aftertaste, a little bit of maybe alcohol in my breath right now. But in the drinking experience, I'm not getting alcohol. And this is at 50 degrees, so it's not, overly cold, but it's certainly not room temperature either. But, it's not, it's masking, or it's potentially masking alcohol a little bit, but not like, enough where I would think that this is going to open up and warm up and be some boozy bomb. So, well done hiding the alcohol there, but having enough whispers that you do know you're drinking a bigger stout, which is what I want out of a bigger stout. I like this. About 75% of the way through the sip is where that base roast hoppiness comes through, which, and again, I'm going to assume this is not the base recipe barely aged in a bourbon barrel, but you do get some of that bitter, roasty, stout quality that the base has, but not as much as I've gotten in the other ones, which again, I'm going to stick to what I'm thinking and saying. Yeah, I like this beer. A lot going on in a good way. It's also, it's not, I think because it's not overly sweet, it's not at all taxing on my palate. Like I could drink this pretty, relatively speaking, for the ABV and how much flavor there is, relatively easy because it's not like syrupy sweet where maybe I need to take some time to let my mouth, licking my lips, letting my mouth kind of reset. Which I think is part of, I haven't talked about mouthfeel. It's a lot of people would say something like medium minus. I haven't really used a plus minus thing, but yeah, I would say it's medium minus in that regard. And I think that's also part of the drinkability there. I'm really liking this. It's a little, it's interesting. Like when you tell me this is the style I'm going to drink, it's checking off, other than fudgy brownie, it's checking off basically everything I want in the style, but then it's easy to drink because it's a little thinner than others in this style. Is that a knock? I don't know, because I'm really liking it. That's interesting. Actually, that might make for a good conversation in the comments if people want to weigh in. If it has all the flavors you want, or 90% of them, but the beer itself is thinner, is that a negative? This is great. This is good beer. Thanks for sending it. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. And weigh in on that. It'd be an interesting conversation, I think, in the comments. Check out Instagram on Tapped. No Hype Beer Reviews about those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.